Yeah.
The few times, like Berlin is changing, but back in the day, like one time, two dogs got in a fight in the park, and it was pretty brutal.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we called the cops, and they were like, "Yeah, dogs aren't our problem." Like every time actually one time I saw a fight at Alexanderplatz, and it was a dude beating the crap out of a woman and another guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy
So I
shit.
called the cops, and he goes, "Well." I was watching the fight, and I was like, okay, now they broke up, they're walking away. He goes, well, if the fight's over, then it's up to them to call the police. I can't help you. Yeah, I'm like, they're here. You could come get witness statements. You know, like you don't want to do anything about it. No, it's not our problem. And I had that like several times. And then the dogs get in this fight in the park. You're like, it's pretty brutal. Not our problem. Dogs are not our problem.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's all this like just not wanting to have to deal with. Like that was my
Yeah.
interaction with the cops.
Yeah. Interesting. I once had a situation where I had to call the cops, and it was a couple. They were fighting in the street, and it looked like very violent. And then I was with a friend having a coffee and say, "Oh, what the fuck? What is going on in there?" And he said, "Let's call the cops." And then I called the police, and also the woman was telling me, "Yeah, but is he hitting her? No, but almost. It looks like it might become that." And they were like, "Yeah, but we cannot send anyone if there's no real violence." Like,
Yeah.
but what about preventing violence?
Yeah. Now, if I was gonna in that situation, I'd be like, yeah, no, he hit her. You just hit her.
Yeah.
And then when they come, you go like, well, it looked like it from my angle. I don't know. I can't be sure. You know, like you don't
Yeah.
have to make, like because it's like first you have to have this discussion about whether they should actually be involved or not. It's nuts, isn't it? It's just crazy.
Yeah. Okay, we're going there just to check. That's enough.
I've said for years, like I'm glad to live in a place that is so stable and basically safe that we don't really need, like we can have incompetent police. You know, like
Yeah.
they don't have much to do.
But it's funny. I now remember that in one of the apartments that I was living, the couple that it was in the next door, they were always fighting. You can hear them from the whole building could hear them. And I remember that once they were fighting, and at least 8 police men came.
Really?
Yeah. So I count 3 police cars. So quite.
Sometimes they take it seriously.
Yeah, sometimes they take it seriously.
Yeah. I guess there was one time that the cops mistook me for a homeless guy. That was
That's just how I look.
yeah. I mean, like a friend of mine the other day actually said that I grew a beard out in December. I like just let it grow out, and I can't really grow a beard. Like it just looks pathetic. And so she's like, "Oh, I'm glad you shaved your beard off." And I was like, "Yeah, I thought I was starting to look homeless." And she said, "Yeah, I didn't want to have to tell you, but but during the lockdown, like one day I was just standing out in front of my apartment, and then I went back in, and all of a sudden, like 2 undercover cops were surrounding me, and like they were like, "Give us back the perfume you stole."
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like, "What? I don't have any." And they searched me and didn't find anything.
Oh.
And then he said, "Like, oh, I guess you're not the homeless guy we're looking for." I was like, no, I'm not.